Well, ladies and gentlemen, without wasting any more time, we are going to take you towards the AWS India on accelerating digital transformation for effective governance. We have our head states and local government presented by the industry perspective. We would like to call upon Mr. Ajay Kaul to join us right here on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Sir Ajay.
Good morning. Well, the energy is low because of obvious reasons. And that's why I think Fahim decided to give me this session immediately after a break. Because this is the most toughest session, right? But in order to set the context and also bring some energy in the room, let's get started with a video to set the context. Can we have the video, please? Sound.
Can technology answer the world's truly big questions? Questions like, how will she learn when the nearest school is miles away? When will he harvest his crop after an unpredictable monsoon? How will they scale their startup so they can reach more people easily? How will she get medical help when she needs it? How will they plan exploration beyond the stars? How can we touch 1.4 billion lives and make them better? At AWS Public Sector, we're building the answers to these questions every single day. Let's connect people to knowledge. Let's enable children to have fun as they learn. Let's empower non-profits to create social change. Let's help startups bring unorganized workers online. Let's inspire a safer, healthier, happier, better India for all of us. Just as we are inspired by the people, the not-for-profits, the startups, the educators, the healthcare providers, and the government agencies we work with. By bringing them closer to the people they serve, by helping them collaborate and innovate, by fueling their mission to make life better for millions of Indians. We're building the answers to the world's truly big questions. We're AWS Public Sector.
All right, so as you would have seen, and I'm sure that you would have also witnessed that technology is today impacting every human life to grow and thrive. Every sector, be it agriculture, be it healthcare, be it education, be it finance, commerce, every single sector. And our philosophy at AWS, from Public Sector India standpoint, is to positively impact 1.4 billion, we have 1.4 billion people now, to grow and thrive. So with that, folks, let me start my presentation. And I'm sure that somewhere all of us in the room are doing our bit and contributing in making the India of tomorrow. We're still not done. Post-COVID, with so many things going on, I'm sure we're still getting started, right? You talk to any department today, at the center, at state, there's so much happening. There's so much happening in every sphere of digitization, right? And we have seen a massive shift in the way the technology adoption has happened in government specifically. And I recall the earlier conversation that NS and Murthy was talking about, that we started passport in the earlier days with a one-way communication, right? That was the initiation of computer era, of getting passports done through a complete automated way, right? And then moved on to the next stage, which is an automation era, of getting things done in a lot more automated way, reducing human manual interventions in the processes, which enabled a faster turnaround, a better turnaround, an accurate turnaround. But now, we are working towards something which is an open digital ecosystem, because now what every customer is saying, we don't want to get embedded in specific proprietary architecture, solutions, software, infra, whatever it could be. it has to be as open as possible, right? It has to be as capable as possible to ensure that at any point of given time, it's able to build scale. It should not restrict us, because end of the day, the technology is not the end. It is the means to get the outcomes delivered. And when we look at that from how things have evolved as part of e-governance specifically, it has also moved. And I'm sure you would remember the time when e-governance used to be a one-way street. There used to be just a piece of information coming from the government to the citizen. And from that time to the time where we are today, where we don't have literally time to even hold on a call for resolving any issue or getting any payments done, the needle has moved massively. And one of the finest examples that comes to my mind is from one of the largest states of the country, that is Maharashtra. And the way the Maharashtra has laid the land on ensuring the governance at scale in a lot more meaningful ways by consolidating the approach is by working through the nodal body called as MahaIT. And every state has a nodal body, right? And if you look at the chart here, every department today need host of services, whether it is in the form of DBT schemes, whether it is in terms of other authentications, whether it is in terms of website creation. We heard 𝕮𝖆𝖙 ma'am talking about the website creations in a consolidated way that are secure, that are scalable, that are able to change as the change evolves. We were able to work with Government of Maharashtra through MahaIT, where we cover almost 55 plus departments of the government in enabling them, digitizing them, automating them, bringing them up to speed on what is needed to get delivered on the ground. Right? Whether it is agriculture, where there are DBT schemes needed, whether it is education, where there are money being sponsored by government, whether there is women and child, various projects, there needs an authentication at Aadhaar vault that has to get created. So why to talk to departments individually? Why not create a consolidated way to manage and reduce the repetitiveness of the processes? Yes, it is not easy. It is easier said than done. But it's not impossible, right? And that leads me to the next example I can talk about, where more than an government to consumer kind of a change, what is the government doing for their own internal change to enable the systems and processes that are automated? And one of the instances I can talk about is the e-office migration with Government of Telangana, where 33 districts of Telangana migrated on AWS by virtue of the e-office application which was rolled out by NIC maybe decades ago. All of you understand e-office, right? It's in every department. Most often than not developed by NIC decades ago, and facing challenges, facing issues which are hampering somewhere the timelines, the rollout, the velocity, and most importantly, the innovation. Are we really able to innovate? We're not. We're still struggling to keep the systems alive. We're still struggling to keep the systems on. But with this, the Government of Telangana has been able to massively migrate all these 33 districts and automate a process of approvals within the system on the fly. Now, you all might be thinking that, again, how does it happen? And is this something which is doable even from a larger standpoint, from a scale standpoint? Let me talk about this. Some of the largest platforms in the country, and some of them are really largest in the world. I'm sure all of you would get a view of this, right? Aadhaar, UPI, CoWIN, right? Which touched every single individual of this country to ensure that we are able to come across the problems that we're facing during the time of pandemic. And as we speak, a lot of them are on AWS. And the reason why we're able to scale was because there was no requirement for them to look at building the infra scale, building the database scale, building the interoperability within multiple systems. It was all taken care of. And some of these were built not in years, not in months, they were built in days. I can tell you about CoWIN, which came into existence after a deliberation and debates of few days across various stakeholders. And then government was sure that given the number of people that it has to touch, it will need a platform which is able to scale, right? And I can tell you, there were days, especially the day when we had Honorable Prime Minister's birthday, when this platform touched upon more than 1.2 billion hits on one single day. And what we were also able to do is we were also able to keep on improving this platform by enabling the map services where you could locate the nearest hospital where the vaccine is available. You could also figure that out by virtue of a PIN code, right? You could also get the Aadhaar authentication done on the fly. You could also download a digital certificate multiple times, right? And then as the scale came down, the overall need for this infra also came down because the way we operate is build an auto-scale mechanism. So it is elastic in a way, where the demand grows, it also grows. The demand reduces, it also reduces. And this was built entirely on native AWS stack, including all the APIs, databases, load balancers, everything end to end. And if you check, it is working even today. But think about it, if government had to spend the amount of money and the budget needed for building this entire infra, right from the hardware, the software, the security, the tools, database, all of that, how much it would have costed? And more than that, how much time it would have taken? That's the power I'm talking of here. How many of you have experienced 𝕮𝖓𝖈𝖎𝖙 recently? Show of hands, 𝕮𝖓𝖈𝖎𝖙? Yeah? Seamless? So your face is your new passport, your face is your new boarding pass, right? And we were just, during our conversation with various state government departments, we were just thinking that can this technology be also used for making entry into the government secretariats, where there are hundreds of people in the queue outside trying to fill a register with their names, giving their Aadhaar cards or other identity cards, and then making an entry, then somebody reaches out. Imagine the amount of man hours, the time, the overall process it entails, and which is a pure waste of time. 1. 2, after the person comes inside, do we even know where the person goes? Does the person go to the specific department where he's supposed to go, he or she? Or does the person go all around the secretariat, which could be a security threat as well? Think about it. And looking at the future of enabling this solution for a secretariat of any state, where the person enters, the facial recognition recognizes whether the person has an appointment or not, the person gets through. And right up to the moment the person leaves the secretariat premises, it is an end-to-end secured way of managing the overall ecosystem. Second option, we have hundreds and thousands of employees entering the secretariat as well, right? Think about this as a mechanism for the employees to be also used. I don't know whether people may like it or not, as an attendance mechanism of when the individuals are entering the premises and when they're exiting the premises, without getting into any kind of a physical verification or the fingerprint-enabled systems and so on and so forth, which most of the times are not in use. That's the power I'm talking of. Let me also talk about the change that we have witnessed and I'm sure all of you would know, the AI/ML alone contributes today to about 40% of any initiative within digital transformation. 40%. Think about a scenario where a pensioner is supposed to submit their form online and provide their authenticity of being alive online. Now, how do you know whether the person is providing a photograph of him or herself, or whether the person is providing the photograph of a photograph? Think about it. With millions of people submitting their claims of being alive, how do you get to ensure that the systems don't get breached and you don't end up paying people who don't deserve to be paid? That is where technologies like AI/ML come into picture. We also work with a lot of departments around land records, stamps and registration, utilizing blockchain as a technology. Because that's one area where it completely ensures that there is no intervention, manual or otherwise, which can tamper the system. That's the power of technology that gets utilized today. Now, having said that, what are the differentiators that we bring on the table? With so much that I spoke about is a very little. Because due to the confidentiality clauses, I cannot even release the name of customers where we work actively. Right? These were some examples where we've been able to get references. Otherwise, there are hundreds and thousands of customers across center, across state, where we are changing the lives of the citizens every single day. And that's the experience we carry. Most comprehensive and matured migration tools. Now think about it. Again, a quick example. 𝕮𝖆𝖙𝖎 is an application that runs in government of Telangana, which is to provide healthcare facilities for people below poverty line, right? And that application was developed by TCS maybe decades ago. And it was running on their SDC. The issue was, right from the COVID times and even later, people were not able to log in. They were not able to get approvals. They were not able to get clearances. And that created a massive issue and negative public image, of the government in the media as well, in the public domain as well. And that's when we initiated the work with government of Telangana. And right from understanding the way that application was developed, we worked with TCS as well, we worked with our partners as well, we worked with customers as well. And we modernized that entire application in a matter of 3 to 5 months by initiating a POC to begin with, and ensuring that we don't let go of any nuances to ensure a seamless migration. And post 5 to 6 months, the entire application of 𝕮𝖃 of government of Telangana was migrated on AWS. From that time till today, there's not been even a single instance of the application being down or people not being able to get approvals or being able to seamlessly manage the end-to-end process. Now think about how many 𝕮𝖃s do we have across the country. Think about how many e-offices do we have across the country. Think about how many applications we have which use Aadhaar authentication every single day. And we face challenges. So, in a nutshell, this is the time when we have to start getting moving. Yes, I understand. Not everything is going to be workable on a public cloud. That's absolutely fine. But there are various areas around data governance that define if COVID kind of a data can be put on public cloud, I'm sure there's a lot that we can think about, right? So with that, I come to the end of my presentation for today. But it was outstanding to be here. Thanks to Fahim, the entire 𝕵𝖃 team. And these sessions are always meaningful because we get people like you, like-minded people who understand technology and the impact it creates in the government sector. We are going to be available here. My colleague Lokesh is also going to be here. Please feel free to take out time to connect. but happy to interact and take things forward and power India to the next level. Thank you very much.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Sajay. We request you to please stay by on the stage. We have something for you from Gov Connect, but for now we would like to call upon our very own 𝕮𝖃 to join us right here. The Principal Secretary, Department of Science, Technology, Government of Madhya Pradesh, to give this beautiful memento right there to Ajay Kaul. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Ajay Kaul, the head state and local government of AWS India. So we have a special memento coming in right here from Gov Connect to you.